Hello, Coach. My name is Bob Murray with USA Coaches Clinics. We've been in Las Vegas quite a number of years, and in more recent times we've been able to work out the situation where we can offer videos to you. We have top quality coaches that give their time to try to help you become a better teacher and help your kids. We hope you'll enjoy this video.
I thought I'd give you a look at what we're doing in our winter program, not only the actual drills we do, but kind of the attitude adjustment, attitude training that that we are in the midst of changing a culture. To give an example, Indiana football. I get in a cab yesterday, the cab driver says, Indiana football, no, basketball, Bobby Knight. I said, well, listen up, pal. Keep paying attention because we're about to change things here. And we're going to do it with basketball. I don't want to replace basketball at Indiana. One of the greatest recruiting tools we have is taking a guy to a basketball game in Assembly Hall. And this year we were a good resource for our basketball program and our other sports. Homecoming, the place was rocking, and that's what we want to do. That's where we want to be, where we're an integral part of our athletic department. But for sure, basketball, I love it. I've been a IU basketball fan my whole life. But we're doing some things to convince our guys to change that culture, as I talked about. And so I thought I'd give you a quick overview and then some specifics. I worked for a guy named Randy Walker. And very frequently my staff will hear me use walkisms. And one of his favorites was, and I miss him dearly, and college football misses him, but one of his favorites was begin with the end in mind. And that's kind of what this is. These are program goals that don't change. We adjust our yearly goals, our season goals, but our program goals, they don't change. 100% graduation, and we're all about that. This past year, 21 out of 21. So the support system, the academic support system, the help we get for our administration, it's working. And our second program goal, be a champion. We talked about winning championships. Winning championship, how about winning a game, Coach? No, we're going to win games. We're going to bowl games. We're going to win. If you don't aspire to play in the Rose Bowl and you play in the Big Ten, then something's wrong with you. So be a champion on the field, in the classroom, and in life. Now, how are we going to accomplish this? Well, part of this attitude adjustment is what we do with them in the off season. We have so little time compared to other college sports with our players. We don't get individual instruction time. If they're throwing and catching and doing things, they're doing it on their own. So we've got to maximize the time when we do get with them. So we have an off-season motto. If you can run, then you can play. And the unstated part of that, if you can't run, then you're going to be standing over by me watching the game, okay? Speed. It's all about, but it's functional speed, and it's speed and size. So we call it the winning edge. A lot of programs call their special teams, their kicking game, the winning edge. Well, for us, special teams are an equal third of what we do. We work, everybody says they work hard on special teams. Well, 3 years ago at Miami, we led the nation in punt returns. This past year at IU, we led the nation in kickoff returns. That doesn't happen by accident. We have good coaches who work hard at it, and we spend a lot of time on special teams. Whatever you emphasize, that's what will be productive for you. You know that one. And this one came to me on the practice field. Things weren't going real good. And I said, no, whoa, we're starting over. Because the other side of that is, whatever you settle for, that's what you'll get. That was good enough. Let's go on. No, it's not good enough. Whatever you settle for, that's what you'll get. So here's how we start our Winning Edge program. I had a good fortune a couple of years ago when I was at Miami to be invited to, it's all about peer leadership. You want your players taking over your program because they're with the other guys, especially your older guys. So I had the opportunity to go spend a week at the #1 peer leadership training establishment in the world, Quantico, Virginia, Marine, OCS, Officer Candidate School, and came home from there so inspired and adopted some of the organizational and philosophical things that they did and still do. And so we divide our team going in, once the season's over, we've gone home for Christmas, we come back, and they are divided into squads. And these are the squads. 6 squads, 16 this year per squad. And we give them military alphabet names. And each full-time coach has a GA or another young coach with him, and we draft every player. But it's a cross-section of the team. In other words, Alpha is up first, and they'll start with quarterback, okay? Bravo drafts the quarterback, et cetera, until the quarterbacks are gone, all right? That position group is empty. Open up a new position group, and we deplete that position group. So it's a cross-section. You got a quarterback with a linebacker, with a D tackle, with a corner, with a et cetera. So it's a team-building part of our winning edge. And then they compete and go through the winning edge program in their squads. I've got some tape I brought with me just to demonstrate real quickly. We had one last Thursday, or last Tuesday, I guess, is these tapes are from. 6 a.m., toes on the line, your squad, you are responsible for making sure your squad is there. So that peer leadership, that interdependency, if somebody from Alpha's late, Alpha's late. We give them shirts, so the winning edge and Alpha on the back, etc. But that's kind of organizationally beginning, but it's done by design, for them to get to know each other, to work together, to encourage each other, and to compete. We got to compete. Everything we do, we got to compete. So, and any time you got a question or comment or anything you want to say, Who picks the teams? Yes, the coaches. Coach Canada. What squad are you? Okay. Yeah, the coach we sit in the staff room, we have all the players' names on the board, and we draft the squads. So everybody's picked. And like I said, it's a cross-section of, the quarterbacks aren't all together. Quarterbacks with the D tackles, with the O-line, so it gives us a pretty good cross-section of the team. And again, that's not an accident. We do that by design. We want the team to get to know each other, because how often do your quarterbacks work out, compete with your DNs or other position groups? So that's the beginning. What is the winning edge? The winning edge is a series of agility drills, again, things that we have targeted. One of the most important things I believe you can do on either side of the ball at any position, have the ability to not only run fast, if you can run then you can play, but also be able to stop and change direction. Stopping fast is a skill you can improve on. Think about it. You want receivers who can stop fast and get out of cuts. You want DBs who can stop, change direction, and go. There's hardly a position, linebacker, O-lineman, that doesn't need to be able to move fast, but stop fast and change direction. So a lot of the drills we have are targeted towards that. Okay, here's what we do. We come out, Alpha comes out in a line, Bravo in line, etc. And we stretch, and then we're going to go to the winning edge. And these are, we have 6 squads, 6 stations. My grandson drew this for me, I think. We start with the board push, we go to plyos, we go to a prowler push, we go to field agilities, to bag drills, to cone agilities. We do 6 stations in 1 hour. 6 o'clock, we start, we're done by 7. Each station lasts 3 minutes. High intensity, moving, 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 moving. I time it. I blow the horn, we stop, we break down, we boom, blow the horn, we rotate. You got a minute in between each station, so there's no built-in rest station, anything like that. This goes on for an hour. Let's go through these. We'll start with the board push. I got to talk about the board push a little bit. We started this at Miami, and no matter what kind of facility you have, you can do the board push, and I think it's great. It started out simply with a 2x towels wrapped around it and taped. And I'll show it to you here in a minute. We've become a lot more sophisticated with our board push now. But we use it in camp in the summer because what do you have to be able to do? Bend your knees, flex your hips, and if you can't do that, then you get on top of the board and push straight down, and it doesn't go anyplace. You got to get your tail down, and get behind the board, and push the board. And we want to push it fast. We race. We'll have Alpha and Bravo go to board push, and they're competing against each other. The next thing we do after we stretch before we start the stations is the whole team stepping over hurdles. Again, hip flexibility, part of our warm-up. How high? We step over 33. We step over 33. And it's amazing what this does for them. I'll show you a freshman that we got, 6'7", 310, athlete, but needed stuff like this. You know, DBs, O-line, they're doing the same thing. Step over 33. Okay. This is a freshman tackle, and this is what we want to recruit at the offensive line. Athletic, long-armed, 6'7", 310 freshman who can really run. But he needs to be able to bend his knees better. In line here with a punter. That's a punter right there. Followed by a DB. Now we're skipping over them. Still, if we go over them, they're 33. You're going to have a little rhythm. Now, this one tends to be a little hazardous to your health if you aren't wide awake at 6 o'clock. Oh yeah, I invited the media to come, 6 a.m. after signing day. Hey, if you guys want to show up at 6 a.m., you can see us behind the scenes. You never get to see, so somebody, doesn't make it over, and everybody moans, and so he writes in the paper the next day, yeah, reminds me of that Christmas play, The Nutcracker. And he wrote it in there. He wrote it in the paper. Come on, man. You say things like that. But that's really good, skipping over them. But everybody on the team does this. We do this as long as it takes. This may take 5 or 6, but this is not a station. This is just, we're still warming up. All right, this is really good. Over, pivot, under. Step over, pivot, go under. Bend your knees, bend your knees, bend your knees. Get it both directions. This helps everybody. Over 33, under 39. There's the big freshman right there. 6'7", 310 going under that. Yeah, big fella. What we do then is call them up together and we rotate their starting point every time. So Alpha, you started at the board push. Alpha and Bravo started at the board push last time. Right, you guys are there. You move on. We start one ahead. But we do the board push, and you'll see that here in just a second. Then we go to our plyos, which is jumping up on boxes or jumping over boxes. Then we go to the prowler push. Now, the board push is fast. We want to go fast with that. The prowler push is this little mini sled that you can load plates on. Sled weighs 50. We put 245s on, so we're going about 140 pounds. Everybody pushes the same thing, but it's a power push now. It's called a prowler. That's what it's called. We bought those. Then we go to field agilities, just wave drill, bend your knees, move your feet. We go to bag drills, different running, shuffling over bags. We finish with some cone drills. And that's one rotation. There it is, the famous board push. Like I say, we started out doing it at Miami on a gym floor with towels taped on a 2x4. And it works fine. If you don't have, this is old Astro turf, so this really works good. But we have, it's a piece of board with the edges beveled, and then the handles are screwed right onto the boards. This is speed. We want to go fast with this. And we'll change up the course where they have to zigzag around cones. You can see you've got to get behind it. If you don't get behind it, you push straight down on it and you stop. I really like to see the big guys do this, but I like to see everybody do it. You're running. See, if you can run with it, you can get down low. And like I say, when we get guys in camp, we have a lot of guys come through the summer in camp. That's one of our stations in camp. Kind of watching, ooh, look at this guy. And him get behind this board and run. And there's no faking it. You can't fake it. You can either get down and run behind that board or you can't. And it's really revealing. You don't get many things to test them on in summer, and those things are going away. But we've used it in the past to do that. Okay, Coach Brown, station here, our running backs coach. Maybe I'll hear him talk later. This is the plyo, 20, 22, 24, depending on what we're doing. It's one of our running backs right there. And we change it up the drills, but mostly, what plyos are, it's explosion, jump up, quick, jump up. And there's a lot of enthusiasm, a lot of talking, a lot of encouragement going on between teammates. Now, for a big fella, that's probably 20-inch. He's going over. It's Zulu. Team squad Zulus right there. There it is, the prowler. Now you've gone from the board push to the plyos to the prowler. And this is a power run. Nobody can push these very fast, 140 pounds. But you can do this on grass. We do it on grass also with this machine. Well, they're coaching each other. They're encouraging each other. That's the day the media came. That's the media standing there watching. 3 minutes is up. Call them up. Boom. Rotate to field agilities. Now, when I was an assistant coach running this was my station. I love this station. Oh, yeah. It was a good way to get in shape early in the year, to run the field agilities. Oh, yeah. I wasn't one of those. No, I was demonstrating. Again, the emphasis is just reaction and playing low, moving your feet, keeping your feet moving. bending your knees when you're a little tired. Get up quick. If you got DBs, you're backing them up more. If you got O-linemen, I like O-linemen to work like this as they shelf, keep your hands up, keep your hands up, keep your hands up. Change direction. Horn blows, rotate. We go to Coach Rick's bag drills. Control your body. Go fast, but make it a functional fast. And with some, we mix up the cone drills. This is the Pro L cone. And I'll walk around with a stopwatch and time them. Hey, was that your best? Was that your best? But you can see they're going hard, they're competing. Standard pro agility. I'm telling you, the board push is good. They don't like the board push, especially the big fellas. Big fellas, bend your knees, get your butt down, and run with that board. But it helps them tremendously, and they get better as they do it. You can see the improvement, the carryover almost immediately. And then the prowler push, oh yeah. So you go through that board push, plyo, jump, prowler push. That's why we rotate the starting point. We do a running program that it's the best football conditioning, preseason, pre-spring I've ever had. I personally did it, so I know that it works back in the day, and it's still very applicable and manageable, and the players know that it works. And you can't run a test. You know that. Well, we can't. You can. But we can't test them in the summer. We can't test them. They're conditioning. A couple of tragedies a couple of years ago, and so you can't test them. So it's not a test. It's a IU football standardized running workout. And our strength coach, because we're not with them in the summer, so this is the program that we build up on and use during the summer, and our strength coach and our trainer certifies our players qualified to participate in summer camp. Pretty good, huh? But it's not a test. It's not a test. But you got to keep running it till you're certified. So it's just basically terminology. But I don't care about all that. The bottom line is it gets them ready to get through camp. We used to have hamstrings, receivers and DBs, they run a lot in camp. Well, we don't get that anymore. We don't get that because it is not the old 12-minute run. I was in a camp one time, 12-minute run, you crossed the finish line, and they laid you on a table and did an EKG. And there's, the mile-and-a-half run, there's various forms of summer conditioning. Well, this is not changing direction so much, but pretty high intensity. And I'll go through it with you quickly because I don't like it. I love it because I know it gets us ready to play football. And we have 5 speed groups that we work in, 5 speed groups. We're not talking, we're done now with the winning edge. We're in summer ball, and we're now getting ready to play football. We'll do this, for example, on Christmas break, the first Tuesday after Christmas break, guess what they did? And they knew they were going to do it. They did the standardized running workout. So it keeps them going. And the veterans did a good job. Some of the young guys were a little bit of shock, but it's as much here as it is here. It's the mental part of it, because you look at it and you go, oh wow, how can anybody do that? So we have 5 speed groups, and it's not Alpha Bravo now, it's speed group 1. You want to be in speed group 1. I'd have been in speed group 1. That's the fast guys. And you want to get moved up to speed group 1, speed group 2, and it's basically just a group of about the fastest 15 guys on the team. I don't care what position. That punter I showed you going through there, he's in school early. We moved him from the punting line. We just put him in there 3. We moved him to 2 and then to 1. I got a punter who can run. I like it. But you can also get sent back that way. You keep finishing last. You finish last one more time, you're going back the group. You're in 2, you're going to be in 3 here in a heartbeat. Okay? They don't want to get moved back either. It's a little bit of pride being able to run up front. So we got 5 speed groups based on their, we run 40s on pro day, and based on those times, you get placed in a speed group, okay? So here's how it starts. We have, and you're going to laugh at it at first, what? But here's standardized for group 1. It eases you into it, decreases the distance and decreases the time. So speed group 1, the fast guys, they start out and we run one whole group all the way through. It takes about 10 minutes to run this test. To do this workout. So the fast guys start out 80 yards, 4 reps, 11 seconds. We can all do that. Just cruising down, getting loose, running with good form, set, go, count it off. And they cross the line, and they have an 11-second rest before we send them back. So 11 seconds down, turn around, hand behind the line, set, go. 11 seconds. Rest. 4 of those. 4 of them. Now, this is the first quarter. Speed group 2 goes 80 yards in 12 seconds. 4 reps with a 12-second rest. Okay? Same way, group 3. The distances are the same. We make it fair by adjusting the times. Speed group 4, 80 yards times 4, 14-second rest. Let's now, we're getting up there, some bigger fellas now, and let's them ease into it, get good and warm. And group 5, 4 reps, 15 seconds. That's the first quarter. Then, take a break, 15 seconds, and we'll get ready for the second quarter. Walk around, shake it out. Don't bend over, don't bend over, don't bend over. Let's go, stay tall, get ready. Okay, speed group 1 up again, and now we'll go to the second quarter. And as I said, the times, the distances and the times go down. So now we're down to 60 yards. So we move the cones 20 yards. We're running 60 yards with the speed guys. 5 reps, 9 seconds. Again, 9 seconds for 60 yards. You can adjust it. But we keep those initial times pretty standard so they're getting good and warmed up. Okay? And group 2 is going 60 yards, 10 seconds, 5 reps, 10-second rest after each rep. Third speed group, 60 yards, 11 seconds, 11-second rest, speed group 4, 60 yards 12, speed group 5, 60 yards, and then 15 seconds between quarters 2 and 3.
How many mics do you have in each group? Are they pretty even?
Yes, we'll divide them. Even though it's not Alpha Bravo, it works out the numbers on the team. There's about 15 guys, so we're spread across the field. And we monitor it, who's making it, who's not. You need to make the reps, especially as slow as they are. It's really a good warm-up, the first few,
But in order to do that, are they all separated out across the field? Because I know you can't run. There's too much rest time in between. So you got group 1 over on this
Yeah,
side of the field.
group 1, speed group, they run and finish all 4 quarters. The rest of the team stretching, cheering on the sideline, So you're running in front of your teammates. Then we go to the third quarter. Okay, speed group 1's up. Now we've cut the distance to 50 yards, and we're doing it in 8 seconds, 6 reps with an 8-second rest in between each run. And again, when I used to run it, my memory says 11 minutes. I'd run the work in 11 minutes. So it's what I would do when I would first start out running the program. I wouldn't modify the times. I'd modify the reps. I might only do 280s. And then I would add reps the next time. Or you could change the times up, to accommodate. But once you get into it, after about a year, you don't have to modify anything. They know what to do, and they do it. And our guys do this. Every guy that came back that Tuesday after Christmas did this. Did it and was successful. Okay, group 2. We're still running 50. They get 9 seconds for their 6 reps. Group 3. And as you can see, we've just added time and shortened the distance. Reduced time and shortened the distance and added reps. So good old group 4 here is running 50s in 11 seconds, but they're running 6 of them, and boom, boom, boom. 11-second rest goes pretty quick. As we get further into it, it becomes more nonstop, but still you got to burst out of there. You can't be just sloppy jogging it. He doesn't make the time. He's a mess. He's going to make it. He's going to accomplish an A in this standardized run, or he'll keep running it until he does. And we won't do this necessarily at 6 a.m., but we'll give him more opportunities to do it, because we're basically just building a foundation of conditioning with it. But it's not jogging conditioning. It's football. It's play, recover, play, recover, play, recover. Between each quarter, we take a 15-second break, if nothing else, to move the cones. So we have time to move the cones. But again, that's football type. Come off the field, recover, get ready to go. Okay, now, you ready? All right, buckle up now, boys. Buckle up. Fourth quarter. We're getting after it now. Fourth quarter. Oh, yeah, there's a little juice now, fourth quarter. Number one, it's the fourth quarter. Everybody wants to win the fourth quarter. Well, you got to win this fourth quarter today, right now. Fourth quarter, speed group. 6 seconds with a 6-second rest, 12 of them. I don't care how fast you are. We got some really fast guys. Guys that run under 4, low, mid 4.5s, mid. And so 6-second 40 for them is not wide open, but it's pretty fast. And so you're going down there in 6 seconds, 3, 4, 5, 6. That rest seems like 0.6 because you're going, the rest starts immediately as you finish. 2, 3, 4, hand behind line, set, go. And you're going back in 6 seconds, and you're doing 12 of them. This, if, I'm not using this word, But if there is a test, the fourth quarter becomes the test. Every guy, speed guys, I mean, it's impressive to watch your fast guys run 6-second 40s at that point with the fatigue, recovery, and they're moving. Fires me up just thinking about it. Group 2. Same 40 yards, same 12 reps. They get 7 seconds. And for some of those guys, those linebackers, those tight ends, we expect group 1 is we kind of call it the skill group. You know, wide receivers, corners, hopefully running backs, safeties. You know, there's some cocky linebackers. They want to jump in there. I'm running with 1 today. You better do it then. If you're going to run with them, you've got to do it. Oh yeah, we've got a defensive end. Rush in, 250 pounds. Oh yeah, he runs a group 1, and he'll blow it up. Coach Brown keeps wanting to move him to tailback. Group 3. Now we're really taking it easy on the big fellas. Bigger fellas. 8-second 40s, but it's almost nonstop 8-second 40s. Boom, 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 boom. And finally, the real big fellas, they get 10 seconds. But I'd be surprised if the biggest 20% of your team, those big guys, can just blow this up. The ends of the spectrum, Group 1 and Group 5. Group 1, now those guys are running to do 12 40s in 6 seconds with a 6-second rest in between each one, you know, after what they've already run. And the big guys, you know, they're chugging away to get those 8 seconds. I don't know if you've ever seen that before, but it's really worked for us. It not only gets you in football shape, I think it lets you get through camp, like I said, hamstrings, you know, because you're out there jogging and running 1.5 miles or whatever and getting in shape, but you're not doing any fast twitch stuff. And this is not wide open unless you're a speed guy running those last 4 40s in 6 seconds. You're having to move it out pretty good. Try it. I think you'll like it. And like I say, it's adaptable to varying times in the year. It's adaptable to. This is from an NFL team. But you can make it work for you. Now, if what you do, you're happy with what you do. But I wouldn't change now. I've tried other things. I've been a part of other preseason, get them ready, running programs. To me,
Does a coach have group 1, another coach have group 2?
we're all kind of out there. The strength coach can run this with his 2 assistants by himself.
Okay.
But
So group 1's up, they go, group 2's up, they go.
yep. Well, group 1's up and they run the whole thing.
Oh, they do the whole thing.
They do the whole thing. That's why they know when they step out there, they got about 10 minutes of running ahead of them. You know, and pretty high intensity running. But the strength coach can set them off, and he'll have a guy at each end, and with some markers.
This whole thing will take you 50 minutes, an hour.
Yeah, the whole team can go out there and do it under an hour. Yeah. This is something, again, God bless him, from Coach Walker that I have adjusted. When I became head coach, I changed it up a little bit, but we still do it. And it's called fourth quarter. And you can do it at the end of any practice, any workout. What I've got here is after Winning Edge, last week we did fourth quarter. And we used to just do it as a team. Well, I said we got to make it a little tougher than that. So we do it as an offense and defense. So I had them put on different colored shirts for this one, for this, just so we get this on tape. But it's fourth quarter at the end of a long day, at the end of a game. You want to be able to function. You want to be sharp. So it's a physical activity that requires mental awareness, no mental mistakes. And it also requires communication. Communication. You want to improve, you want to teach, and reward them for good communication. So, this is after that winning edge day. Okay, I had the defense dress in red, and we wear crimson, and the offense is in white. And they come out, the seniors up front. They're not in. It's not Alpha Bravo or anything. It's the seniors up front, and we run out. Not really fast enough here, but we run out. To me, I'm at the 45. And we do 3 basic drills. We'll do push-ups, sit-ups, and up-downs. And we're going to get it right. And I'll pick a number of the day. Might have some real significance. I know, before our first game this year, the number might be 1. Let's go get a win, boys. But this number this particular day is 6. So 5 yards in between, and I'll give them push-up position, hands on the line. And here, it's not just 6. That's how we used to do it with walk. When we did 6, everybody do 6. Well, I said that we got to make it a little tougher than that. So the number is 6, and they go 6. And I'll say, offense 1, 2, defense 3, 4, everybody 5, 6. So you better be paying attention. And if we mess up, if anybody messes up, everybody up. Run in place, hit it, hit it, hit it. And we'll start over. Now, I remember Roethlisberger's last year. We're at the bowl game, and we saved it for the bowl game. The number is 13. Yeah, that's a good number. But it gets a little, you better pay attention. Offense 1, 2, 3, defense 4, 5, 6. Offense 7, 8, defense 9, 10. Everybody 11, 12, 13. There's a lot of moaning going on there. No. But guess what? We got it done. So this is pretty easy. This should be pretty easy here with 6. So they're all down. You got to listen. You got to pay attention. And as soon as you hit number 6, you flip over with your butt on the line. Like I said, I wish I had a better camera angle of this. Up, 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 defense, 3, 4. Flip it, flip it. Now we still go offense, 1, 2, defense, 3, 4, everybody 5, 6. Defense first, I guess. And that was the end of it. We just got 5, 6. That was my cameraman's fault, I'm sure. See him kind of reaching out. Get up quicker, let's go. And they know, the last couple up downs, they know we're getting close, so about to call it a day. But this was at the end of that 1-hour workout. Yes? Everybody starts over. Well, we do some grass drills first, just to let everybody know, all right, we're out of routine. Everybody chopping, 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 chopping. Hit it, hit it, hit it, hit it. Push-up position, the number is 7. If we mess up on 6, the next number is going to be 7. And then I'll tell them things like, I got you today. I am gutting you today. You are soft. you're not paying attention, and we're going to be here for a long time. I got a long time. We might get to like 15 just today. But that's not a very good example of it, but it really has. It's a good way because we'll have to repeat it occasionally, but they feel good about finishing and getting it right. And you know, it's not really a physical thing as much as it's a mental thing, doing a few push-ups, unless somebody messes up and we're doing 3, 4, 5 grass drills in between and then increasing the numbers. But I like the, you know, defense 1, 2, offense 3, 4, everybody 5, 6. You can see, well, they're talking, they're communicating. They don't want some young guy messing up and making everybody start over. But it's the plan we used at Miami to not only get us physically ready to play football and improve our agility skills, but it also becomes a team-building process. Get them to know each other, get them to trust each other, get them to want to play together. Okay, I got a couple questions for you. We got a couple minutes left. We get a lot of kids in our camp. I coach punters. I coach our punters. And so if a punter comes through our camp, I give them a little quiz. Very, very, very few of them can answer the quiz. I ask them, how long do you have to get the punt off? Well, my snapper's terrible. Okay. But if you got a good snapper, and say you're back just inside, we're back at 14 yards. Our heels are at 14. And Coach Rick will talk about punting a little bit, but almost no, they say things like 2 seconds. Yeah, it's pretty good. But what they don't know is take the snapper out of the equation. From hand to foot, from hand to foot. So the snapper's out of the equation. From the time the ball hits your hand until it hits your foot, it is gone. How long? How long? 1.35. 1.35. A lot of NFL guys get it off quicker than that. If you're going much above 1.35, that snapper better be shooting it back to you and hitting you in the target with it. 1.35. And to do that, you really got to be a two-stepper. If you're a right-footed punter, you need to step with that right foot. 1, 2, punt the ball. And I didn't punt, but I've coached 3 all-conference punters in different leagues. And the best thing, I stand right there. I stand right there so I can see where the ball is, and I time them. You know, when we're in team, we'll time the whole process, but I time them when we're warming up, because I went to Miami, Florida in the early 90s, and as soon as the first thing they did, they worked on 2 phases of kicking. They punted, and I've read this and I believe it. The most important play in football, the single most important play in football is the punt. What other play do you snap the ball and plan to average close to 40 yards on that play? And every time you punt it, you want to gain 40 yards of field advantage. So first thing we do, I haven't done any different, any practice since then, is we go down, we kick an extra point, kick some field goals, score, protect, rush it, and then we turn around, camera's right behind us there. All right, punt it, here we go, we're punting it out of the end zone. Every day. Any practice you come to, you go, well, okay, they're going to punt here real soon. There they are, they're punting. Now, we do specialists before that, you know, and I'll time our punters in. But 1.35. But the best, like I say, I wasn't a punter, but just because you can't golf doesn't mean you can't teach it. But I would talk to guys, NFL punters, other guys, what's your swing key? What do you think about? What's your one thought when you catch the ball to punt it? You know, It's funny, some of them say, I don't think about anything, I just punt it. Because you're real talented, I guess. But the best one I ever got that I use is I'm standing right there, so I'm seeing the right side of their leg, and I want to see the inside of the ball on the outside of their leg. If the ball gets in here too much, you can get off a good punt. But with the inside of the ball and the outside of your leg, it's how we're constructed. You know, the ball in socket, if you swing just right leg, if you swing, boom, you'll catch it in that power range right there where you're almost punting at the inside foot of your right guard. You want to stay square, catch the ball right here, ball's right there, boom. Because if you just miss it slightly, I've said it 1,000 times, they'll hit one and it'll go off that way. I'll say, ooh, that was a good miss. Because what happens, especially if you're playing on a turf field, but it'll do the same thing on grass, it'll hit and take off. If they don't catch it, you know, you'll gain some extra yards on there. Now, you get the ball in here, you also, with that ball in socket, have a tendency to swing inside then, and you hit one of those, especially into the wind or into the breeze. Ooh, that's ugly. That's coming back at us because it'll get down there, and if it's not caught, it'll hit and come back at you. You guys that work with punters know what I'm talking about. But 1, 3, 5, inside ball, outside of your leg. Those are I couldn't punt it out of this room, but I can coach guys who turned out to be pretty good. Guys, thank you very much. Anything else? Any other questions? Yes.
How do you develop leadership as far as team captains and leaders? What do you do for them?
You know, that's a great question. How do you develop team leaders, captains? Wow. $64 question there, because I don't know that it ever stops, but it's what you do every opportunity you have. As a head coach, it's your job to develop that leadership so that coaching staff, that team can function without waiting for you to make every decision. And like I said earlier, those guys are in the locker room, they have so much more influence on their teammates than we'll ever have. So I think you have to spend time with them. I don't think you can just hope that it happens. So what I try and do is have regular meetings with them and challenge them, give them responsibility. You know, part of our captains, our leadership will emerge from our Winning Edge program, observing and commenting to guys. I saw you today. I was watching you today. It's what I need from you. Got to have you. You know, I say our program's based on some principles that, again, aren't going to change, kind of like our program goals. Our foundation is going to be integrity. Do the right thing. You know what the right thing is? Do the right thing. We have a sign in our team room. Be in the right place at the right time. And they all know what that means. But it's a good question for them, Pat. Am I in the right place at the right time? 168 hours in a week. During the season, we get them for 20. How about those other 148 hours? That's where you're holding your breath, hoping you don't get that phone call in the middle of the night, you know. That's my greatest fear as a college coach. That phone call you don't want to get. So, foundation of integrity, do the right thing. Walls of loyalty. Can I trust you? Can you trust me? And I say, sure, we can say we do, but every day's a job interview, man. Every day's a test. We're going to find out. And I say things to them like that all the time. And then you got to hold them accountable. And you got to be faced with a situation where your All-American star receiver has flat messed up. Not with the law, but he's just flat messed up, and you got to set him down for 2 games. You got a lot of people questioning your judgment at that point, but you got to back it up. But it's also one of the things I enjoy studying, reading about. You're a product of the people you meet. I think the people especially you work with, like I talked about Coach Walker for 9 years, and the books you read. And so I think there's no ceiling on learning about leadership, but I think, we as coaches, we as football coaches especially, Bo Schembechler said this a few years ago, the last bastion of discipline in our society is football, football. Bo's left-handed, so he's going, football, football. And I believe him, So thank you for being here. Hope you haven't lost too much money. I've lost none. Good judgment. I think Coach Cannon is up next. Thanks, guys.
Coach, we hope that you'll enjoy this video and that it will benefit you and your team. Please tell your friends about the clinic and get a group together. We'll see you next year.